Welcome to SB Nation. I'm Matt Ufford. Sitting next to me is five-time MLS Cup winner, played in 3 World Cups, highest scoring American in U.S. soccer history, also most assists. What else have we got? Most importantly, has hugged David Beckham a bunch of times. Landon Donovan, welcome.
That'll be on my tombstone, probably.
Hugged David Beckham. You're coming off of a 3-month sabbatical. I don't know how long it was, but you took some time away from soccer. What was, were you just kind of burnt out?
Yeah, I was. I think it's something probably everyone can relate to. Sometimes during your personal or professional life, you just hit a point where you just need a break and you need to get away a bit.
Absolutely. I know what you're talking about. I blogged for 6 years straight,
right.
And I came to video instead. It's way easier.
So I hit that point, and it was just time to take a little bit of a break. I got away, refreshed myself.
Where'd you go? I know you went to Cambodia. What'd you do there?
Right. It wasn't by design, but someone sort of said maybe this is a place you might like, so I went by myself, just explored a little bit, had some time to think about life, my future, and came back ready to play. Nice.
Did you were you completely away from soccer? Or did you watch a little bit of the games? Did you play some pickup games with like barefoot children in the streets?
Right. I didn't watch a lot. I tried to get away as much as possible. But the reason for leaving was I sort of wanted to have the enjoyment again. I sort of lost that enjoyment. And so having the time to get away allowed me also then to go just play some pickup games, go play like I was when I was a kid, and it sort of brought that joy back.
What was your longest break from soccer since you went pro, since you first started playing full time?
Well, I think since 15, it was probably 5 or 6 weeks.
So for the last 15 to 16 years, you had never had more than a month off, basically.
Yeah, so I think it was overdue for a little bit of a break, yeah.
Do you remember in 2009, we actually shared a cab together?
We did?
We did, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't. No, not at all.
Where to?
It was after the MLS Cup in '09 in Seattle, and I was friends with someone who was in with like the Galaxy family. And she was like, cheer him up. And I was like, well, I'd watched your entire career, basically. You know, I've been a fan of the U.S. team since '96. But I didn't actually know anything about you, except that like you were married. And I was like, so how's your wife? And I didn't know that you guys were separated. And I was like so awkward. And so sorry about that. No personal questions today. No personal questions today.
I appreciate that. No hard feelings.
You, of course, played in 3 World Cups. And the news came recently that you're not going to be at the next camp, won't be at the qualifiers in June for the U.S. team. Has Jurgen changed his mind? You're back in form.
Not since I've spoke to him, but hopefully you want to speak to him for me?
I will put in a good word just as soon as I get his number.
No, I understand his decision. Obviously, if as a player you're disappointed, you want to go to these games, but if I won't be there, then I'll be a fan watching at home and cheering just like everyone else.
Jurgen's reign has been kind of mixed with great results with kind of disappointing performances sometimes. What's one thing you've really enjoyed about the U.S. team since he's come aboard as coach, and one thing that you'd like to see the team do better?
Well, the energy he's brought in has been really electric, and it's been good for our group. And for a while, we were, I would say, a little bit stale. So he brought in a fresh attitude and sort of a newness about it that's been really good for everyone. You know, I hear a lot of people complain about some of the performances in qualifying, but the reality is that the important thing is getting to the World Cup. And once you get to the World Cup, nobody cares how you qualified, what game you barely eked out a point, or what game you played terrible, and you just want to get there. So as far as that goes, I've been through this a few times. It doesn't matter how you get the points and the results, you just got to get them.
You played for Everton on loan. What was your experience playing in England? Did you enjoy it? Are fans receptive to Americans there?
I loved it. When I went, fans were very receptive to Americans, but I think there was a time where it probably wasn't the case. So there was a few guys, Brian McBride, Joe Maxmore, Kobe Jones, Claudio Reyna, who sort of set the path for us. And now when Clint has done so well, I had some success there. Tim Howard has done fantastic. I think it bodes well for the future because now you see teams willing to take chances on American players more.
Everton fans actually broke out in a USA chant after Tim Howard scored that goal.
Sweet, right? I was there, man.
I loved that. Do you think that your career would have been different if you had started out in the EPL instead of the Bundesliga?
It's hard to know. I think it would have been different if I had had a different mindset going in. I think I was used to being the star on my high school team or club team, and I thought I would just go over there and be a star. And the reality is there was probably 50 or 100 kids just like me there who were all fighting for the same spots. So I didn't really understand that at the time, and I think if I had a different attitude, it probably would have been a little better.
Now, you said that you used your sabbatical to think about the future. Now that you're back playing again, what's your ideal career? How much longer do you want to play?
I know for sure I want to play for the next 7 months. At that point, my contract's up, and I will take some time at that point to sort of figure out what I want to do. I will only continue playing if I really want to and can still do it and feel that energy and that fire that I feel right now. If not, then I can figure out the rest at that point.
Robbie Rogers has been in the news a lot, and he's expressed a desire to play with the Galaxy after training with the team.
Yeah.
Would you like to see him on board with you guys?
Would love to see him on board. Aside from him just being a very good soccer player and being able to help our team, I think we all see the historical significance, the importance that it would have for not only our team and our sport, but all sports and all people really in life. And we want to be a part of that. We could live through something that's historical. That'd be great.
I think so too. Now, you guys play in Home Depot Center in Carson, California. I've been there in the summers. That place is exquisitely hot.
Correct.
There is no shade to be found anywhere. And even though it's like 5 miles from the coast, it is there's no breeze whatsoever.
Right.
How do you protect yourself from like the heat and sun there?
Well, interestingly enough, growing up in Southern California, I was not informed about the harmfulness of the sun and didn't wear sunscreen most of my life. And at one point, when I was married, before, my now ex-wife said, "You wear sunscreen every day, right? I just want to make sure." And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, you need to start." And so from that point on, I sort of got the awareness in my head and started wearing sunscreen every day. And it's a cause that's important to me because my father had skin cancer a few years ago. Fortunately, he's okay.
Good.
So I partnered with the Skin Cancer Foundation and Banana Boat and Hawaiian Tropic to start helping to educate people, but really men, because we kind of get this macho, we don't need sunscreen, and we don't really think about it. So it's important to me. I think it's an important cause, and to make it a little more fun, we set up a website, sunblenders.com, where people can go on and learn, but also an opportunity to win a 3-day trip to Florida, all expenses paid. So try to make it fun for people and help people learn, and I think if we can get at least one person to stop and think before they go for a walk or go to the beach or do something out in the sun, to stop and think, you know what, I'm going to put on sunscreen. It might save my life. Yeah, it's a preventable cause, and we should do what we can to prevent.
All right. Final question. Would you rather play against Italy with Jorge Larianda refereeing or Mexico in Azteca and everyone's really well hydrated?
That's a good question. I see what you're alluding to here. Probably Mexico. You can wash that off, but a bad result you can't really wash off. So. All
right. Landon Donovan, hope to see you in the next World Cup. Sunblenders.com. Do check it out. Thank you for joining us at SB Nation.
Appreciate it. Thank you.